Hello students, in this video lecture we are going to discuss chapter number 5th, material science, and the topics are band theory of solid, Fermi level, as well as comparison between conductor, insulator and semiconductor. Let us move on topic. In this table we are going to discuss difference between conductor, semiconductor and insulator. Let us see here classification of solid on the basis of electrical conductivity. In this table I have three type of materials in tabular form. There are conductors, insulator and semiconductor. In first column we have written properties on the basis of which we are going to distinguish between conductor, insulator and semiconductor. The first property is electrical conductivity. The electrical conductivity of conductor is in between 10 to the power 2 to 10 to the power 8 mho per meter, and for insulator the electrical conductivity is very less, and it is less than 10 to the power minus 5 mho per meter, which is very small. And for semiconductor the electrical conductivity is in between 10 to the power minus 5 to 10 to the power 2 mho per meter, which is in between that of conductor and insulator. The second point is resistivity. Resistivity is just reciprocal of electrical conductivity. Therefore the resistivity of conductor varies in between 10 to the power minus 8 to 10 to the power minus 2 ohm into meter, and for insulator it is large enough and it is 10 to the power 5 ohm into meter, and for semiconductor it is in between 10 to the power minus 2 to 10 to the power 5 ohm per meter. And the third point which we have to discuss is that band structure. If we discuss the band structure of solid, then we discuss the band structure of conductor, then conduction band and valence band of conductor overlap to each other. Therefore there is no energy gap. You can see here there is no energy gap between valence band and conduction band. Therefore conductors can conduct electricity at room temperature. And if we discuss about insulator, there is a large energy gap, that is approximately 3 electron volt to 7 electron volt between valence band and conduction band of insulator. Therefore it does not conduct electricity at room temperature. And for insulator, for semiconductor, the energy gap between valence band and conduction band is smaller than that of insulator and larger than that of conductor, and it is almost equivalent to 1 electron volt. Well-known semiconductor like silicon and germanium have 1.1 electron volt and 0.72 electron volt band gap respectively. And band gap for conductor, as we have already discussed, is 0 or very small. The fifth point is what it is: free electron density. Number of free electrons in per unit volume in conductor is approximately 10 to the power 29 per meter cube. Therefore this is a very large amount. 10 to the power 29 per meter cube is a large amount. Therefore electrical conductivity of conductor is very large. There is no free electron in insulator, and The free electrons in germanium is 10 to the power 19 per meter cube, and in silicon it is 10 to the power 16 per meter cube. Okay, let us shift on point number 6. Charge carriers. In conductor, free electrons are charge carriers, and in insulator no charge carrier are found, and in semiconductor both free electrons and the vacant place when an electron leave the conduction band, that is known as hole, also carry the charge. Therefore free electrons as well as holes carry the charge in semiconductor. Therefore electron and hole are charge carriers in semiconductor. The seventh point is what it is, effect of conductivity and resistivity on the material of temperature. If we increase temperature, then conductivity of conductors decrease and resistivity increases. It appears due to increase in number of collision between drifting electrons and ions. Therefore, due to these collisions, a resistance will be offered by the vibrating ions to the drifting electrons. Therefore, conductivity decreases and resistivity increases. And for insulator, they are already does not conduct electricity. Therefore, there will be no effect on increase of temperature on conductivity and resistivity. And in semiconductor, if we increase temperature, then more number of electrons will transfer from valence band to conduction band. Therefore conductivity increases and resistivity decreases in this case. The eighth point of discussion is resistance temperature coefficient. It is what it is. If temperature is increased, then resistance will increase in conductor. Therefore temperature resistance coefficient is positive. For insulator, there is no effect of temperature on conductance, conductivity or resistivity. Therefore here I have written nothing. And if temperature is increased, then resistance or resistivity of semiconductor decreases. Therefore resistance temperature coefficient of semiconductor is negative. Some examples are there for conductor. Examples are copper, Ag, that is silver, Au gold, Al aluminium, Fe iron, etc. And for insulator, the examples are rubber, plastic, diamond, etc. And for semiconductor, some examples are there, silicon, germanium, gallium arsenide, etc. Let us move on next page. In this page we have discussed how the band form in a solid. That is, topic is what? It is band theory of solid. Band theory of solid. Let us read the first paragraph. To understand the formation of energy band, let us consider an example of germanium atom. The electronic configuration of germanium is what it is. Germanium have 32 number of electrons, and electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, 4s2, 4p6. And the diagram showing its electronic configuration is the first diagram. Here it is, this diagram. In outermost cell, that is 4s, that is 4s cell, there are 2 electrons, and in 4p subcell there are 2 electron also, okay, which is shown in diagram also. Let us read the second paragraph. The energy level of germanium atom is shown in first figure. Okay, let us move on. Third point. When two germanium atom come closer to each other, then interaction take place. If two germanium atoms come closer to each other, then there will be interaction between the two atoms. Due to interaction, every energy level split into two levels. Okay, uh, here I have shown two interaction of two germanium atoms. Here you can see that 1s level, 2s level, 3s level, as well as 2p level, 3p level, all will split into two sub levels, and energy of one level will be slightly greater than original one, and energy of second will be slightly less than original level. Here, in this way, uh, every energy level will split into two levels when there is interaction of two germanium atom take place. Okay, when two germanium atom come closer to each other, then interaction take place. Due to interaction, energy every level is split into two levels, one having energy slightly greater than original and other having energy slightly less than original one. Due to interaction, height of potential wall will decrease also. Here you can see that this is potential wall, and its height will decrease. This is common between two germanium atom. Therefore, this height of this common potential wall will decrease. Okay, now let us read the next point. Uh, in solid, large number of atoms interact with each other. In second diagram, we have discussed interaction of two atoms, but in general there are large number of atoms in solid which are very close to each other, and they have interaction with each other. Hence, energy level is split into large number of levels. If there are n atoms interacting with each other, then every energy level will split into n levels, and the group of these n levels, or group of these levels which we obtain by the splitting, form a energy band. Let us read again. In solid, large number of atoms interact with each other. Hence, every energy level split into large number of levels. A group of large number of levels. Here, first we are going to see this diagram. In germanium atom, the outermost energy levels are 4s level having 2 electron, and 4p level having 2 electron also. If n number of germanium atoms have interaction with each other, then n sub levels, or n new energy levels will formed due to this interaction, and this form 4s band. Similarly, interaction of 4p energy levels will form 4p band. Okay. Therefore, formation of energy band take place due to interaction of atoms. Let us move on next page. Let us read here. The The group of these levels, which are obtained by splitting of original energy levels of an atom, are called bands. Hence, a energy band contains a large number of energy levels which generates due to interaction of atoms in solid. Due to interaction of atoms in solid, a energy band is formed. The splitted 1s energy level form 1s band, splitted 2s energy level form 2s band, and so on. The outermost energy band, which is filled with electrons, and transformation of electrons from one atom to another atom is not allowed in this band, is called valence band. Okay, the outermost filled energy band, in which at transformation of electrons from one band to another band, one atom to another atom, is not allowed, is called valence band. Okay, in germanium 4s band is valence band. Okay, as well as we can also define conduction band, and here is definition. The energy band just above valence band is called conduction band. Electron in this band can transfer one atom to another atom. Okay, if an electron is in conduction band, it can transfer from one atom to another atom. This band may be vacant or partially filled. Conduction band may be vacant or partially filled by the electrons. Let us move on next page. The energy gap between the valence band and conduction band, top of valence band and bottom of conduction band, is called forbidden energy gap. Okay, here you can see the diagram. The band gap between top of valence band and bottom of conduction band is called forbidden energy gap. For conductor, this gap is almost equivalent to 0. That is, in conductors, valence band and conduction band overlap to each other. Therefore, in conductors, at normal temperature or room temperature, electrons can transfer from one atom to another atom. Therefore, electrons behaves like free electrons, and conductors conduct electricity at room temperature. For semiconductor, this energy gap is almost equivalent to 1 electron volt. As we have already discussed, this energy gap is 0.72 electron volt for germanium and 1.1 electron volt for silicon. And for insulator, this energy gap is in between 3 electron volt to 7 electron volt, and this gap cannot be crossed by increasing temperature. Therefore, insulator does not conduct electricity. Let us move on next page. Now we are going to define what is Fermi energy and then discuss Fermi-Dirac function. What is Fermi energy? Fermi energy level is the level up to which all states, all energy levels are filled with electrons, and above which all state or energy level are vacant. At absolute zero temperature, Fermi energy level is defined at absolute zero temperature. And what is definition? Definition is that the Fermi energy level is the level up to which all states or energy levels are filled, and above which all states or energy level are vacant. That is called Fermi energy. Fermi energy is denoted by EF Fermi energy or Fermi energy level is denoted by EF. Electron in the energy states are occupied according to Pauli's exclusion principle. All we know that electrons are fermions and spin half particle, therefore they obey Pauli's exclusion principle, and in electronic configuration we have to obey Pauli's exclusion principle, according to which uh, no two electron can have same quantum number. Okay. The distribution of electron in energy state will in accordance of Fermi-Dirac distribution function, according to which the probability of occupation of state having energy E is given by F D E is equivalent to 1 upon e to the power E minus EF upon KT plus 1. What this function represent? This function represent probability of occupation of an energy level by an electron. Okay, and this function is called Fermi-Dirac distribution function. Let us move on next page. If we again see this Fermi-Dirac distribution function, and if temperature is 0 Kelvin, if temperature is 0 Kelvin, here you can see that something upon 0 will be infinite, and here E minus EF upon KT, if T equivalent to 0 Kelvin, then this quantity will be infinite. And we have two cases. If E is greater than EF, then this quantity will be positive infinite, and e to the power positive infinite is again infinite, and 1 upon infinite is equivalent to 0. Therefore, FD E is equivalent to 0. This is mathematically what we have proved, that if energy is greater than Fermi energy, then probability of occupation of an energy level will be 0. Probability of occupation of energy level will be 0 in this case, and if energy is less than EF, E is less than EF, then it will be negative. E minus EF upon KT will be negative infinite, and therefore e to the power negative infinite will be 0. Therefore FD E will be equivalent to 1. Okay, FFD E equivalent to 1. Again, what we have discussed, if energy of an energy level is less than Fermi energy, then probability of occupation of that energy level is equivalent to 1. Therefore, at absolute 0 temperature, keep this in mind that we are discussing all these mathematical or all these definition at absolute 0 temperature. Probability of occupation of energy levels having energy greater than Fermi energy is 0, and probability of occupation of energy levels having energy less than Fermi energy is equal to 1. Okay. Which satisfy the definition of Fermi level. Already we have defined it. I am rubbing all these. Now, let us read here. At any finite temperature, what happens? If temperature is finite and we are taking a special condition, E is equivalent to EF, then this quantity E minus EF upon KT becomes 0, and e to the power 0 becomes 1, and we have 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2 in denominator. Therefore, FFD will be equivalent to half. On this basis, we can define Fermi energy again. And what is the definition? Definition is the probability of occupation of Fermi level at any finite temperature. I am reading again it. At any finite temperature is half. The probability of occupation of Fermi level at any finite temperature is equal to half. Okay. Now, for a metal, Fermi energy is given by, for a metal, Fermi energy is given by EF is equivalent to h square upon 2m 3n upon 8 pi to the whole power 2 by 3. That may also written as 3.65 into 10 to the power minus 19 multiplied by n to the power 2 by 3 in electron volt. Okay, what here n represent? Here n represent number density of free electrons in metal. Number density of free electron. On this basis, one can find Fermi energy. Now we are going to discuss about semiconductors. All we know that semiconductors conductivity is in between conductivity of conductors and insulators. We have already discussed that conductivity or conductivity of semiconductor varies. Conductivity of semiconductor varies 10 to the power minus 7 to 10 to the power 1 mho per meter, and forbidden energy gap is almost equivalent to 1 electron volt. For silicon it is 1.1 electron volt, and for germanium it is 0.72 electron volt. If an impurity is mixed in a semiconductor, pure semiconductor, if impurity is not mixed in a pure semiconductor, then it is called intrinsic semiconductor. There are two types of semiconductor. If impurity is not mixed, then it is called pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor. At absolute zero, there will be no free electron in the sample. If temperature is increased, then some covalent bond will break down and some electrons becomes free, and now also the vacant place in the valence band, that is conduction band, carry charge and they are called hole. Okay, when electron shift from valence band to conduction band, then the vacant place which has been left by electron will also behave like a charge carrier, and this vacant place in valence band is known as hole. This vacant place is known as hole, and it behaves like a positive charge carrier. Okay, let us move on. Next page. Here we have shown band structure of germanium at absolute zero temperature. At absolute zero temperature, there is no free electron, you can see in the diagram. And if temperature is increased, if temperature is greater than 0 Kelvin, then some covalent bond will break down, and by breaking of these bonds we get some free electron, and we also get a vacant place which has been left by electron, and this vacant place also behaves like a charge carrier, and this vacant place is known as hole. Okay, Therefore, there are two types of charge carrier in a semiconductor. Electron is negative charge carrier and hole is positive charge carrier. Okay. The electrical conductivity of semiconductor can be written as J equivalent to Je plus Jh. J is what? It is electrical conductivity due to current density, electrical current density due to electrons, and Jh is what? It is current density due to holes. We know relation between current density and drift velocity of charge carrier, and for electron it can be written as Ne into Ve, and for a hole it may be written as PeVH, where Ve is what? It is drift velocity of electron, Vh is drift velocity of hole, N is number of free electrons, P is number of free holes. Let us move on next page. Already we have discussed that Ve is drift velocity of electron, Vh is drift velocity of holes, and all we know that drift velocity is directly proportional to applied electric field. Ve is proportional to capital E, that is applied electric field. Therefore, Ve can be written as mu E into capital E, where mu E is what? It is mobility of electron. Similarly, Vh may be written as mu H into E, where mu H is what? It is mobility of hole. If we use these equations in previous equation, then what we get? J equivalent to E and mu E plus P mu H multiplied by E. Okay. Therefore, conductivity may written as sigma is equivalent to J upon E, that is E and mu E plus P mu H. If impurity is mixed, this is conductivity of pure semiconductor or intrinsic semiconductor. Let us now we move on second type of semiconductor, that is known as extrinsic semiconductor. In extrinsic semiconductor, impurity is mixed to increase the conductivity of semiconductor. Let us read here. If impurity is mixed in pure semiconductor to increase its conductivity, then they are called extrinsic or impure semiconductor. There may be two type of extrinsic semiconductor. One is p-type semiconductor and other is n-type semiconductor. Let us move on next please. If impurity is trivalent in the nature, then you can see that it left a hole in the structure. A hole is a positive charge carrier, therefore in this way we get p-type semiconductor. If impurity is from trivalent atoms, is a trivalent atom, then we get a p-type semiconductor. Example is taken as boron. If boron is mixed in pure semiconductor like germanium, then boron will contribute into three covalent bonds, but it will not able to contribute in fourth one because it is trivalent. Therefore, in fourth covalent bond, a vacant place will be left by the boron, and this vacant place will behave like a hole. In this way, a trivalent impurity provides a hole in the system which is positively charged carrier, and therefore this type of semiconductor will be p-type semiconductor. And if impurity is pentavalent impurity, pentavalent impurity like phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, etc., then it will provide a free electron to the system. Every impurity atom will provide a free electron to the system because it is pentavalent, therefore it contributes in the four covalent bond. Still, one electron will be left which behaves like a free electron, and in this way every impurity atom will provide a free electron to the system, and this type of semiconductor is known as n-type semiconductor. For p-type semiconductor, the number density of holes is equivalent to number density of acceptor atoms, because every acceptor atom provides a hole in the system. Therefore, number density of holes will equivalent to number density of acceptor atoms. Therefore, P may be written as Na. Na is what? Number density of acceptor atoms. Also, P is very greater than N. That is, number of holes, number density of holes is very greater than number density of electrons, free electrons. Therefore, conductivity may be written as E and A into mu H for p-type semiconductor. This equation we have already discussed. And for n-type semiconductor, the number density of electrons will be equivalent to number density of donor atom, because every donor atom provides a free electron to the system. Therefore, number density of free electron is equivalent to number density of donor atoms, and N is equivalent to Nd, where Nd is number density of donor atoms, and N is also very greater than P. Number of free electrons is here very greater than number of holes. Therefore, sigma may be written as E and D into mu E. This is conductivity of n-type semiconductor, and here this is conductivity of p-type semiconductor. Okay, thank you.